Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
How long can I leave mayonnaise in my car before it will give me botulism?
I don't think it gives you botulism.
Oh, yeah. Mayonnaise is like the number one cause of botulism.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's like mayonnaise and uncooked chicken and fucking salmon at picnics.
You're thinking of salmonella.
No, I'm thinking of botulism.
Botulism.
Do you want me to take a moment and look this up?
No.
Right at the top of the podcast?
You're asking me my opinion. I'm telling it to you, and then you're saying it's wrong.
Oh, but you're telling me that it doesn't cause botulism, and I disagree.
Mayonnaise is eggs, right?
Listen, I have mayonnaise in my car right now. Is why I'm asking. I'm
I see.
trying to figure out if I should leave the studio and go get the mayonnaise and put it in the fridge here so that I'm safe.
Is it opened mayonnaise?
So open.
Is it in the trunk, back seat, front seat, on the windowsill? Like, where is it?
I left it on the dash.
You left it on the dash.
Yeah. How long will the hot mayonnaise on my dash in my hot car take to develop botulism and kill me? No, it is in the trunk.
Okay.
It's in a shopping bag in the trunk, but it is an open jar of mayonnaise that I grabbed from my fridge before coming to the studio because I'm house sitting for a friend and I'm going there afterwards and I'm going to make a sandwich tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized maybe I should grab that mayonnaise out of the car.
Two things. One, no, don't.
Yeah.
Three things. Don't.
Okay.
Two, trunks don't get hot because they're closed, dark spaces.
Right.
So they can't. There's no air in there to get warmer.
Right.
It's kind of a vacuum of space in a trunk.
Yeah, that's why you can put bodies in there.
You can
It's
put
like
bodies in
mortuary.
there. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Great.
And also mayonnaise is eggs, correct?
Yes, eggs and oil.
Eggs and oil.
Mhm.
Oil can never give you botulism. Eggs, if you cook an egg, you're just cooking eggs. So you can't make you can cook the eggs in the mayonnaise. So then you might have like scrambled eggs and mayonnaise or scrambled eggs and oil, but you'll never get botulism because literally all you're doing is heating up the eggs to a cooking temperature.
Okay, so hot mayo is not going to kill me. It's just like mayo that's like at room temperature maybe that would kill me.
I think the botulism comes when the when the cooked eggs go back to room temp instead of going to cold.
You got to keep it hot.
Yeah, you got to either keep it hot or put it in the fridge to then freeze the
Oh my God.
the good bacteria.
Sure.
It goes hot and then you got to make it cold so that they go into stasis.
Like John Carpenter's The Thing style. Get that shit real cold.
Exactly.
And then it'll only come alive when it warms up.
Exactly. The big mistake is when people leave it on their windowsill and then let it get to room temp.
So you have to keep your mayonnaise either super hot,
Piping
like
hot.
140 degrees.
Yes.
Or icy cold.
100%.
Great.
So you'll be fine.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
If I see you next week, we'll all know it worked out.
Yeah.
Or, maybe if I did.
Well, I won't be seeing you.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you're wearing sunglasses. Are you
I know.
okay?
Well, what up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
Good. Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
Cannabis.
cooking,
Culture.
calling shit out.
And eye injuries?
Yeah, man. 2 for 2 weeks in a row.
Yo.
Last week I threw Funyuns in my eye. If you're not watching the YouTube, producer Mark said, yeah, I was editing the episode and your eye just went from like clear to red as the episode went on because I had Funyun eye.
Yep. Funyun injury.
Yeah. Sonic. This week, I was meeting you for a pre-production meeting before this.
It was a dramatic moment. I heard a scream.
Yeah. And my knees buckled. I went down to one knee.
I came around the corner and you were truly down in like a superhero stance with like one fist on the pavement with one knee. And you were going, I was like, holy shit, are you okay? And turns out, what happened? Was it
I don't know what flew into my eye, but I was like turning the corner, walking towards you.
Yeah.
And then something just like shot a lightning bolt from my eye all the way up my brain. And something flew in there. And then I immediately closed my eye and then smashed it with my palm.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I
but
definitely
that's
think
what,
that makes it worse.
That's what someone like me does.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to fly crawling behind my eye into my orbital socket.
Oh, God. That's the fucking, I just heard.
Laying an egg.
I just heard a story of a woman who was like hearing this whispering sound and she couldn't figure out what was going on and they found a spider in her ear. La 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 la.
Absolute nightmare.
So no flies in your eye.
No
Thank
flies
you.
in my eye. So I smashed it, but I do think I scratched the
Your cornea.
the cornea or something because it I was trying to think of a joke. Maybe we can workshop it here.
Okay.
Because I used tap water and then Visine, which stung
Yo,
like crazy.
The worst combination possible.
Right now my eye hurts, but is also very dry.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say something about like my eye, it hurts and is dry like a and then all I could think was like Hymen's and
yeah. Well, you know what I have that might help.
We both moved on.
Nope.
Nope.
Do you know what I have that might help?
What?
Some hot mayonnaise.
Just slather it on.
Just put a poultice on your eyeball,
It might.
That would probably help.
Well, because don't eggs, you can put eggs on a cut and they'll help heal the cut, I believe.
I've never heard.
Very truly.
I think you're thinking of egg whites. I think it's the albumin in the egg
albumin.
whites.
Yeah.
But mayonnaise is made with egg yolk. There's no whites in mayonnaise.
That's right.
Or, I mean, mayonnaise is very white.
Yes.
But it is made with yolks. What a
Yolks.
weird yolk. Do you say the L?
I always say the L.
You say yolks, right?
I don't want anyone to get confused.
Yolks. You're not making yolks. It's yolks.
Yolks.
Cool.
Yolks.
Put some yolks on that old eye injury and you'll feel way better.
Maybe I go to the mayonnaise factory and be like, what are you doing with all your whites? Let me get a bag of your whites.
Gonna use it as Band-Aids. That's not fucking weird at all. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we have some plugs up top.
Oh my God.
Listen,
my eye feels crazy.
I'm so sorry. What can we do for you?
Nothing. I got my Pedialyte
Oh my God.
from the weekend.
Are you a 72-year-old man? What the fuck happened to you while I was in Newfoundland? It's crazy. Okay. Listen, everyone, we're coming to Las Vegas. We are hosting the International Cannabis Awards at MJ BizCon. The MJs. Mike and I are co-hosting. It's going to be a great time. We're working on some fun bits. I'm so excited. I'm also very excited to pick out an outfit. There's a crazy after party. We're going to be there. So go to themjs.com if you are in Vegas and you can come and see a fantastic show. It's going to be a fabulous time.
November 30th.
Right. November 30th. Awesome. And then I wanted to encourage people to go sign up for my Substack. It's free. You can subscribe for money if you choose to support me that way. But honestly, just having people subscribe and read and share is really cool. I'm making sandwiches and talking about sexism and misogyny as usual over there on the Substack. And it's a newsletter where I'm also like diving into topics that just are meaningful to me. Like this week I wrote about the meaning of home and going home to Newfoundland and a bunch of stuff. I shared some crazy vids. Actually, I'm going to share one of the videos that I took in Newfoundland later on in this app. So check out.
What's the name of it?
Oh, it's My Sandwich, My Choice. Thanks, Mike, for encouraging me.
Yes.
Don't be mad about it. God, you're so fucking crabby. One eye injury and you turned into a fucking meanie.
Let me show you how to plug.
Yeah, thanks. Cool. What's the name of your show, Mike? Good Lord.
So I have a show at the Comedy Store Wednesday, November 15th, 10:30 called Glazer's After Party. We've got some great sponsors for it where you're going to get free weed, free mushrooms. Tickets are only $10. And the lineup includes Laura Peak, Bruce Gray, Alex Duong, Keith Johnson just said yes. I'm in talks with Pete Holmes and David Spade, meaning they have seen my message.
Oh.
So that's about as in talks as we've gotten.
Uh-huh.
But I have a sneaking suspicion it might work out because Pete Holmes' new Netflix special just dropped and he's about to go on tour. So I think he needs a place to run new material.
Oh, yeah.
And so that would be really great if he said yes to that. So that is November 15th, 10:30, Comedy Store, Glazer's After Party.
The best time.
Yeah.
Cool. What else is popping?
Man.
You had a wild weekend, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to take a sip of Pedialyte.
I was in Newfoundland and I just saw on your Instagram, like, I don't know, behind the scenes shots from what looked like a crazy dance party. And then you in your Sonic outfit with Funyuns running around with people. It just looked like, yeah, you were running around and having a Halloween-y good time.
Would you indulge me with a day 1, day 2 Halloween description?
Sure. A recap?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm very proud of my day 1 moves,
Mhm.
but day 2 is when we get into the drama.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So day 1, should I say his name on here or should I omit his name for this 2-day extravaganza?
Your friend?
Yeah.
Joel?
Damn it. Yes.
I mean, it's always Joel, right?
It's always Joel.
It's never not Joel.
I have 6 friends, but I hang out with 1.
Yeah. You all know who you are. I'm
So-
not even on that list.
Mm-mm.
hates me.
So I'm hanging out with Joel on one night, and I get us free tickets to this 2-story club. They're playing reggaeton and hip hop all night long. I'm like, heck yes, tonight is turn up night. Wednesday or Friday is turn up night, not turnips, but turn up night.
Not a root vegetable, but a get fucked up and go wild night.
Exactly.
Great.
So we both eat a handful of mushrooms. We take some shots of whiskey before getting in the Uber.
Oh,
And we just start smoking weed the whole way there. But
in the Uber? Mood.
yeah,
Sorry,
no.
Okay.
I should say once we got out of the Uber, Joel had his vape.
Okay.
And we're walking around trying to figure it out. But the reason they get you is with the free tickets, that line is across the street.
Oh.
The people who pay VIP, they all get in first, and then when there's room, a group of 2 will come in from the free ticket line.
Yeah.
And I said, screw that. We're not waiting in that line. And Joel was like, well, I don't want to wait in this VIP line. And so I saw the security guard and I go, hey, how much to just let us in right here in the back door? And he goes, $40 each. And I go, done. And he put 2 bracelets on us, opened up the back door to the club, and we walked right in and skipped both lines.
Whoa, that's like you sliding your
Such a
money
move.
across the counter at the check-in in Vegas.
100%. Yeah.
Greasing the palm a little bit.
I will never stand in line again. I will find that security guard running around line managing, be like, what's good? Let us get out of your hair. That's 2 more people in there already popping off.
Great.
And so we danced all night. The mushrooms were amazing. I can get more into that in a bit because we have a mushroom segment coming up. and I love also drinking, dancing, and being on psychedelics where you're sweating all night. So the next day you wake up and feel pretty good because you kind of sweated it all out of you.
Yeah.
That's a real nice thing. And then night 2 was house party night. So Joel and I went to a house party, and this is where it gets dramatic.
Okay.
Also, again, ate mushrooms. A couple shots of whiskey.
Diminishing returns with the second time, do you feel like?
No, because the first night I took the 2 microdose caps from our friend where he gave me the microdoses.
Yep.
And night 2, I ate a whole cap and stem.
Okay.
And the cap and stem, I was tripping so much harder. I was laughing so hard.
Sure.
Having a really great time.
Got it.
And the microdoses were just like a nice background sparkle to the evening, where really like the other thing at the club that I loved was it was all people 21 and up, but nobody was drinking and everyone was dry humping. So you just have like, there's something about this new generation where these young kids, nobody's drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Nobody is
It's not cool to
turning
get
up. It's not
fucked up on
fucking
alcohol.
cool.
It's
It was
not.
so nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's just like as a woman who just is generally always sort of like looking out for the other women in the space too, just on that level, you're like, that's fucking nice. Like nobody's, it's not as worrisome and it feels much more sort of like celebratory and fun for me. Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
So everyone was respectfully dry humping,
Great.
with permission. Yeah, there were no fights. There was no drunk motherfuckers bouncing anywhere. It was
Love it.
Awesome. So great.
Fantastic. That's a good time.
So night 2, we're at this house party.
Okay.
And it's a very adult house party.
Okay.
Meaning,
do you mean old?
No, well, I mean, no, because I don't want to put an age to it as much as I want to put a vibe to it.
Got it.
Charcuterie board, pizzas, bowls of chips, tongs in the chips in case anyone doesn't want to pick up a chip loose.
That's crazy.
Yeah, real adult shit.
Tongs in the chips. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
No, but I did avoid the tong.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to use tongs for chips. That seems insane.
A long tong for like 6 Doritos.
A long tong. Although, yeah, okay. I don't need to dive into it too much.
Would you use the tong?
I did actually recently use a tong on a chip, but it was at that launch event for that fancy weed soda can, whatever.
Yeah.
We went to, and it was at Soho House, and it was like all fancy and everything. And they had tongs in the chips, and I was like, I should use the tongs here because it's like this big public event, and who knows what's gone on with things. So I used the tongs because I didn't want to look like a degenerate.
I see. Well, I am anti-tong in the chips.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I understand a ladle in the salsa.
Oh, you're going to use your hand?
No, because you would just go from chip to salsa. Like you would scoop A to B.
There's an entire Seinfeld episode about that.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was the double dipping episode. But like, no, you got to ladle the salsa, put it on a plate or in a little bowl or something, or ladle it straight into your mouth.
I also think salsa is a terrible party.
It's just gross.
It's gross. It's always loose on the paper plate, sliding around liquidy. You can only use that plate once because of it.
Stains things.
Yeah.
Looks gross when you throw it up later.
Exactly. So we're at this very adult house party on mushrooms. We just missed the piñata that was full of candy. So now I'm on mushrooms picking up ground Twixes,
Okay.
making friends, being charming, having fun. But out of the corner of my eye, I see a couple enter, go immediately over to the charcuterie cheese, large blocks of cheese, cheese knife, great cracker assortment. She loads up her plate with each type of cheese, and then her and her husband walk outside to the balcony, talk by themselves, eat the cheese plate, come back in, do it again, go outside, come back in, do it again. 3 trips to the cheese board, 3 trips to the balcony, and then they left.
What a move.
I couldn't believe it. I immediately go to Joel. I'm like, Joel, I was like, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. He's like, what? And I was like, I can't believe. I said it loud enough for them to hear too. I was like, I can't believe they just ate 3 cheese plates and are leaving. They didn't even say hi.
You cheese shamer.
I was cheese shaming hard.
Wait. What kind of drugs do you think they were on? I bet they just smoked a fatty and they just needed the snacks. That's what I look like at a party after I've just gotten stoned and I don't really want to talk to anyone. Is I make 3 trips to the whatever food is available place,
and then then
I go outside and eat it by myself, and then I leave. Yeah, you've seen it.
I have seen it.
I mean, it's my favorite is if it's roast chicken and I just like hork off a leg and stand in a corner. Don't come near me. I'm out. You know this to be true, right?
I've seen it. I've seen you in the corner. Everyone's dancing and mingling, and then it's almost like at a bar when the crowds part and then 2 people lock eyes and fall in love. Except the crowd parts and it's me locking eyes with you, and you have a mouthful of chicken,
and you're just like, "Do you need to go?" And I'm like, yes. I need to be horizontal in comfy pants immediately.
So I'm the only one who has any amount of animosity towards these people. Everyone is either on your side or says like, sounds like a good plan. And then it sounds like they went home, ate more food and watched a movie together and
probably boned.
Yeah. I can't stand behind it. I don't like someone coming in, commandeering all the cheese and leaving.
Mike, you don't like it when people eat in public, for fuck's sakes. Do you remember when we went to that dispensary launch and they had all those hand rolls and I had like 18 of them? I don't even know. And you were like, I don't know. I just think it's weird when people eat at parties.
Yeah, it's weakness. Haven't you seen that Succession episode where they're all in Sweden or wherever they're at for Gojo, and there's a whole breakfast spread with pastries and all these things, and Tom Wamsgane comes in and goes, "Oh, look at all of you little piggies falling for the trick," and then all of a sudden the whole Swedish team comes in and all the Americans have their faces stuffed with fucking cream and sweetbread, looking like doofs at the meeting, and it was a trick. And I think that eating at a function is a bad move.
It's so interesting because like there's so many layers to that. I know you love food. I know you love preparing food for other people and sharing it with people and enjoying a good time. So where's the line of the event that you will eat at and then you won't eat at? Because it sounds like a house party. Like you should be chill with people just eating at a house party.
I had 6 tortilla chips and a slice of pizza.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Totally.
You ate.
I ate. I ate a slice of pizza, horked it, because the mushrooms were making my stomach hurt really bad.
I can't believe you ate pizza.
And so I ate a slice of pizza hoping it would help. And then I ate 6 tortilla chips while in conversation with a group.
Whoa. Eating in conversation even. Mike.
And at one point I broke off a piece of the tortilla chip in one bite, had a piece in my hand, and made a very funny joke while pointing the chip at people. And then they laughed. And it felt like I was using the chip as a magic wand. Or it was the mushrooms. We're really unsure where that lands in my own imagination versus reality.
Well, how do you feel about the 48 Oysters lady?
Oh, what's the deal with that?
Speaking of public eating.
What'd she do?
Holy shit. This woman went viral because she ate 48 oysters on a date and then the guy left before the check came and was like, and she texted him and she was like, "Where did you go?" And he was like, "Well, you ordered all that food. That was just weird." And then she posted a TikTok about it that went viral.
Was she expecting him to pay?
I don't know if she was expecting him to foot the whole bill, but I think she was more like surprised that he left.
Yeah.
But she ate 48 oysters and also ordered other food. I think there were some crab cakes involved and drinks.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, I just can't imagine having 48 oysters in my stomach.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to have sex with someone after eating 48 oysters. I wouldn't want to have sex with someone who had just eaten 48 oysters. I think I would have left too.
Yeah.
That's egregious.
It is egregious.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's like when you move in together and you're like, should we both get a large pizza? Because I do want to. I want to eat this whole large pizza and I don't want to share with you while we watch 2 movies.
Right.
And that's okay because you're just laying on the couch being slovenly together.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not a first date?
Not a
first date.
It's not first
A little
date
bit
vibes.
of what's it called? Modicum?
A little bit, I don't know, modesty?
Modesty.
Minimizing? Mouth man. Monica Lewinsky.
Monica. Hey.
A little bit of Monica Lewinsky.
What am I going on?
Goes a long way. What? No. Anyway. Well, what?
Wait.
What?
What's the most oysters that you would feel comfortable? Like, what's your date agenda for going on a first date? Because a meal is a nerve-wracking thing for a date.
Very, very nerve-wracking.
Do you pre-eat?
Yeah, to some degree. Like, I would definitely like make sure that I'm not showing up hungry.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Crucial. And I'm not going to I'll probably have one drink. If I'm drinking, I would have one, maybe 2 and end it there. And as far as food goes, I mean, I would love to share oysters on a first date. Like oysters and a glass of champagne sounds great. But I would draw the line at sharing a dozen, I think, or maybe 18 at the outside if we were sharing.
Would you seafood tower on a first date?
Hell no.
No?
I mean, if I hated my date.
You're just dunking loose flesh into butter and shoving it into your mouth.
Oh, if I show up and my date is a complete fucking chode, for sure I'll get the seafood tower and I'll have 6 drinks. I don't care. Like, that's a move.
But you're going to pay for that.
Absolutely. Like, I think that's the thing is like, if you're eating that way on a first date, it sort of shows that like a lack of interest in the other person or how they might feel about you being insane with your conspicuous consumption. Like that is just over the line. And I think she was probably doing it to go viral.
You think
so?
You know
what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't it feel like that?
It hadn't crossed my mind, but that's as simple of an explanation as anything else. Yeah.
Are you going to order a seafood tower on a date?
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
I really wouldn't.
You would just loathe anyone who did that.
What I look for in a date meal is I want something that I'm not going to eat too fast. Like I would never get 3 tacos because that's like 2 bites each. And then I'm going to be done with my meal while we're still talking. I think like a burger and fries is such a great move because I can ration out the fries throughout the conversation. That way I still have something to do with my hands and look at and think about so that I'm not totally engulfed in, just being there with an empty plate in front of me or like a nacho, something like that.
Something that you can kind of pick apart. Like, I'm never going to get a long slurpy noodle on a first date. I've learned that lesson the hard way. I went on a first date years ago and I ordered something that I think it was in Montreal and it was called Le Monstre, which means the monster. And it was like a dinner plate sized sandwich that was, I mean, it became a joke. I actually ended up dating that guy for a couple of years because we laughed about it.
That's great.
So it was great because we both had a sense of humor. I was like, this might have been the wrong thing to order. And he was like, 100%. Are you going to eat it? And I was like, I guess so. And but generally, if you're trying to be safe.
How would you feel about,
I would also never order a salad on a first date.
Okay. That's what I was just going to ask.
Oh. What were you going to ask?
How you would feel about a salad on a first date?
Oh, it would be like putting on like an outfit that I don't wear. It would be like showing up in a pencil skirt and stiletto heels. Like, what are you talking? Hello. Do you want me to completely pretend to be I love salads.
Sure.
But I'm not going to order a salad as an entree and then pretend that I'm some little like, a woman who eats salad and like laughs about it. Like that meme,
Yeah.
So like I would order a salad for the table and then share it with my date, but I'm not going to order a salad and pretend that's like I'm full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine like me in some little, bandage dress with a pair of platform heels, my hair blown out? What
do you think?
No.
Lauren Boebert ordered before giving a hand job at Beetlejuice on her date?
48 oysters. Lauren Boebert and her fucking date, whatever that guy's, that bar owner, a Democratic bar owner.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about this because she definitely ate 48 oysters.
And 17 Cosmos.
And then was vaping. And we were saying that we were so surprised that you didn't, on your travels, see that you didn't see that as a couple's costume?
No couple costume, hand job, Beetlejuice, musical, Republican, Democrat costumes.
Such a shame.
It is a shame.
What a missed opportunity.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially like to have a couple where like maybe there's a strap on flopping around for fun. You know what I mean? Or even just like when you sit down as a couple on a couch together, you have the Beetlejuice program with you and maybe like you make a video of you two like kissing on the couch. Like
That's it.
There's so many opportunities within that costume and instead nobody did it. Maybe everyone hates her. I don't know, but I didn't see
everyone hates her
couple
for sure.
Costume. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it would be, I think printing up that Beetlejuice program would have been key to, I would have loved to see that.
Totally.
Fucking awesome.
I think it'd be really funny. And yeah, nobody. So do you want to go as on Tuesday?
Oh, because we're recording. Tomorrow is Halloween as we record this. This drops the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What if I dress up as Beetlejuice?
Perfect.
And you dress up as an
oyster?
as a vape, as an oyster.
And we're like, we're Lauren Boebert's date. Conceptualized.
We are explaining this everywhere we go.
I'm the oysters that she ate that made her a horny bitch. And he's the program of the show that she got kicked out of.
Look,
oh, no. Oh, you would actually just be Beetlejuice.
Well, Mark just found one of Beetlejuice with Lauren Boebert.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, but I do think it's kind of pussy shit.
She looks alarmingly like Lauren Boebert. That's pretty amazing.
She does, but also lean in. Be the guy.
Yeah.
Be the guy getting a HJ.
Be the HJ guy. But nobody knows who he is. And then if she like leaves to go to the bathroom and you're just standing there looking like some guy
with your dick
at the
out.
party, like that's not good.
That is bad.
Beetlejuice is a safer choice.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right.
Isn't that like there was a couple? Never mind. I can't remember now. Oh, it was something else. It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Whoa.
Never mind.
Your stone brain is just skittering around over there.
Yeah.
Behind the sunglasses.
Huh.
Behind the sunglasses. Well, listen, I just wanted to touch very briefly on something before we move on so we were talking about Britney Spears recently in her memoir that came out and how she said that she had an abortion. And you were like, are you going to make a sandwich about it? And I said, I'm not actually, because I think everyone needs to leave her the fuck alone. But I am interested in her memoir, and I'm really interested in how it's actually playing out for him right now, because he has turned the comments off on his Instagram. Like he has fully gone to, what do they say in the Italian mafia speak? He's gone to the mattresses. Like he's gone. He's kind of not really in hiding, but like he is not publicly really having a great time right now because she called him out on some shit in the memoir.
What she called him out on
forced
forced abortion?
No. It wasn't a forced abortion, but like they were really young. She got pregnant. He said he didn't want to be a father. She took the abortion pill and then was like on the bathroom floor, sort of experiencing what she says was very painful for her. And he came in and he played his guitar for her.
Heck yeah.
While she was going through the
pre-Barbie movie. Sick move.
Jesus Christ. And also, I guess there's this really funny part where, so Michelle Williams, the actress, voices the memoir. And she does this part that Britney wrote where she talks about how he was using AAVE, like, and talking to like some, I think it was Genuine, and like there's a clip of Michelle Williams being like, yeah, faux shit, and it's just fucking embarrassing. And like,
wait, what's AAVE?
African American vernacular English.
Oh, he just code switched on it.
Yeah, like yeah. And so he just looks like a fucking dunce, which he is. And then also, we all love to, forgive him for fucking ripping off that breastplate of Janet Jackson's at the Super Bowl, which effectively ended her career and did nothing to his. Like so karma is coming around for him. And I just love that this little Instagram reel was showing that like he had that song, what goes around, comes around, goes around, comes around, which is 2006. And now in 2023, we are all like, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
It came around. That shit snaked right around and bit you on the ass. Justin, don't treat women badly and expect to not suffer any consequences.
Yeah, dog. You hear that shit?
Yeah, dog. For
Come
shiz.
on, shiz. Bruh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
How you feeling over there, Mike?
My eye hurts.
I'm sorry.
Why that bug do that?
I don't know, man. Cornea scratches are painful.
They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you see to continue, or
I'm going to fight through it. I'm going to fight through it.
Just going to struggle.
If we could do a post-game interview where I have ice around my body.
And some hot mayo on your eye.
And some hot mayo on my eye. And we could just field a couple post-pod questions about how I played through and how I think the episode went.
Yeah.
We
should definitely do that. Should definitely do that. It's going to be great.
I'm not believing you.
I'm excited to do that.
Oh, man. I wanted to bring up a couple of things about mushrooms. I'm feeling so good right now. Like really not drinking. I've had drinks this weekend, but really not drinking. Taking mushrooms quite a bit when going out and having fun. Smoking a ton of delicious low THC weed, sun-grown low THC weed where I'm like high, but I'm not anxiety high. Like I've just really found a really nice place for myself where I love how I'm feeling at that moment, and then I don't feel like shit the next day, except when I do feel like shit the next day and during, because I get mushroom gut. Like my joke in my first stand-up album that's coming out next year is like, I'm Jewish, so everything I eat turns into diarrhea. And it's true, but I've been, how do I say it? I have had to use the loo all day long. I was getting in my 10,000 steps this weekend, just going from the bathroom to the couch and back and forth. Like, I don't know what to do because I love mushrooms, but they make me so nauseous that I thought I was going to puke at that house party.
Oh.
And then once I ride that wave and I get over it, I'm fine. And it's a real beautiful time. But man, my butt is sad and it's just bad news.
Do you just get that like rumbly, weird feeling where it's like you just constantly kind of have to be near the facilities?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my mouth also gets that like pukey. I don't want to describe it too much for people who are listening, because then maybe, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to feel
talking
that
about
way.
like throwing up and
But it's real. And so so Joel came through this weekend.
Okay.
And at the party, he's like, "How you doing, man?" I'm like, "Honestly, not good. Like, I'm kind of just standing in the middle of a yard right now."
Okay.
And he looked it up and he was like, "Oh, lemonade might help." And so he got me a glass of lemonade and I drank it and it was okay. And then I mixed lemonade with whiskey and took one of those. And, I just eventually it passed. But I Googled mushroom tummy tricks.
Okay.
And I just wanted to kind of bring them up because I know that you know these as well, but maybe some of our listeners don't know them.
Yeah. And we have a very different experience with mushrooms because I do know that feeling of like that sort of momentary, like, whoop, okay, there, I can feel them hit. And then my system is sort of doing something with them that wants to purge a little bit. And I think that's pretty common with psychedelics in general, is that purge feeling. I definitely have experienced it with mushrooms, and I know obviously it's a huge part of ayahuasca, and I don't know how much I've experienced it with LSD, and I didn't get it with ketamine, but like, yeah, I think your body is just like wanting to sort of release some. That's why I never actually want to drink alcohol when I'm on mushrooms at all. It's like one cold beer maybe will feel good and it's just kind of interesting to drink, but it's like your body sort of wants to actually get rid of all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's part of it, is the nausea and the sort of feeling like you want to go to the bathroom, is your body being like, get this out.
And also because I'm not trying to take doses that will send me to the moon. I'm just trying to smile, giggle, feel loose, feel comfortable in a crowd. I'm really only like a stem and a cap, but I don't want to puke that up because then I'm not going to get the effects that I'm looking for.
Right.
That's, so I'm kind of having to ride the wave. So one of the things that was, before I get into that, this is from silohealth.co, and it said that these mushrooms are largely made up of chitin, CHITIN, an indigestible polysaccharide known to trigger inflammation and an immune response, and it's detrimental to gastrointestinal effects. So I thought that it was the shit that it's grown in making you sick. And I'm like, oh yeah, eating shit would be bad, but it's actually something called chitin.
I think it might be chitin.
Chitin?
I think, but I actually don't know how to pronounce it. It does look like it's CHITIN. I don't know. That's interesting. I've never heard of chitin.
I hadn't either.
Or shit-in, or whatever it is.
Is that how it's pronounced?
On le prononce chitine avec les psilocybine mushroom. En français.
Doctors say that eating shit may cause inflammation. Oh, it is chitin.
Chitin. Yeah.
Cool. Good
Interesting.
to know.
Okay.
So
thank you, producer Mark.
I can just kind of race through these because we have so much to get to. But lemon teching is.
Can you say it all as fast as possible?
I could. With one eye? Yeah, I can give it a shot. I can read half of it. Lemon teching is where you grind up the mushrooms in a grinder or something as fine as possible. And then you squeeze fresh lemon juice on them and let them sit for 15 minutes. And hopefully there's a little bit of nausea. And also it makes it for a quicker onset. And then it's a stronger but shorter experience when you lemon tech. Have you lemon teched?
I have never lemon teched. I've read about it in some of the publications that recommend it. And I know like when we go to the Oakland Psychedelic Conference or places like that, we'll hear people talking about it. I've never actually done it. I've always just eaten them either in chocolate form or raw or in pill form or as a tea. I think those are all the ways I've done it. Oh, and once I had it with almond butter on a sandwich. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in a way, this is kind of like crudo. is what it is, because you're
Oh, yeah.
actually like using the acidity of the lemon to offset the chitin in there and break it down almost like you would for a fish crudo.
That is such a cool way to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty rad.
That's neat. Okay. Lemon tech.
Lemon tech. And
Got
then there's tea.
Yeah.
Same as lemon tech.
That's how I learned to do magic, or not how I learned, but the first times that I ever did magic mushrooms, we would go up to the golf course, Ballyhaley Golf Course in St. John's, Newfoundland. We would gather them, and then we would go back to a friend's house and we would brew a huge pot of it on the stove, and everyone would have a cup of that tea. And it was lovely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I miss doing mushroom tea, actually.
Yeah.
It's a really nice way to do it.
It sounds like the most smoothest way.
Yeah, you can doctor it all sorts of ways. Like you can put all sorts of different, herbs and honey and lemon and stuff in it to sort of mask that poop taste that mushrooms have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why this third one, I can't believe, is in a scientific publication.
Okay.
Chew it for 30 minutes.
Oh, God. That's insane.
Are you out
What?
of your mind?
Wow. Say more.
Arguably the simplest method
Mm-hmm.
consuming is a long mastication process. Involve eating your chosen dose and chewing them for 30 minutes. This chewing exposes it to chitinase, and chitinase is a family of enzymes that breaks down chitin, which makes it more digestible.
Okay.
So the chewing makes chitinase.
Tastes bad? Keep it in your mouth longer.
100%.
Wow.
Don't breathe on anyone.
Well, I guess it's not about how it tastes, though. It's about how it reacts once it's in your stomach. So this makes it more digestible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or give it to a cow and then ask it to spit it out before it swallows it.
Could you just baby bird my mushrooms for me, Mike? You chew them up for 30 minutes and then just spit in my mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a new fetish.
Oh, God.
Please chew my mushrooms for me, baby.
Kink.
Okay.
And then the very last one is ginger.
Yeah.
Which also I think would be great for a tea. So if you made a lemon ginger tea, now we're talking, right?
Great. Some freshly grated ginger. Delish.
Because
Love it.
ginger interacts with the brain's 5-HT3 receptors,
Mhm.
which are also those receptors are also in action when using anti-nausea drugs like Zofran.
Yep.
So 5-HT3 receptors are why you get nauseous, and things like ginger and Zofran counteract that.
And Gravol too. You know that anti-nausea drug Gravol? Maybe that's a Canadian thing, but it's like I just actually saw this when I was in Newfoundland. There's ginger Gravol, which is specifically what you take for like when you're feeling travel sick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Because anyway, I'm just having a great time, but I am also not having a great time.
Well, why don't we update your mushroom intakes and then come back and can you report back? Can you do some field reporting? Like try lemon tech and try some other things and then come back and let us know?
So for Halloween tomorrow night, I'll lemon tech.
Great.
Okay, let's
and
do
then
it.
you'll go into a sea of carnival costumes and have a fucking psychedelic time.
100%.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table this week.
Okay.
Especially with the holidays coming and people wanting to,
Sparkle
a bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, we were talking last week about recently about how if you are feeling weird at a social event and you have ingested some amount of mushrooms, you just need to go outside and interact with a tree. And I got a DM from a friend who was like 1,000,000% like hugging trees saved my life.
No kidding.
I was like, great. Yes, this is, I think, solid advice. If you're feeling weird, go outside and look at a tree.
Nice.
And speaking of trees.
Yeah.
We had a little cannabis segment that we wanted to do because we were writing our script for the MJ Awards and we were talking through like the business of cannabis.
Yeah. Seed to sale.
Yeah. Seed to sale and just that process and how crazy it is and how like it seems like everyone who's like, oh, you work in weed, that must be so chill and cool. And then you actually meet anyone who works in the cannabis industry and they're missing chunks of hair and they haven't slept in weeks and they're like, everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And so we started digging into like what the seed to sale process of legal cannabis actually is. And every step seems so simple. And then at every step, you're like, oh no, it's terrible.
Especially because all I watch mostly is cooking shows and documentaries, and everything from the French Laundry to any Michelin-starred restaurant, they're like, oh yeah, farm to table. And it's like, we just go out to our garden and whatever's in season, we pick and we cook that night. So it's like, we went out and got up all the zucchini and tonight we're going to have zucchini on our tasting menu. Ta-da!
Ta-da! It's so
Seed
simple.
to sale.
It's just agricultural. But that's the thing, like cannabis isn't considered an agricultural product. Isn't that nuts?
Oh no, under laws, it doesn't fall under any agricultural protection.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like tomatoes or anything that you can grow. It doesn't fall under those fucking laws because of it being federally illegal. Yeah, it's considered a drug and a commodity, but not an agricultural product.
That's crazy because they spray those tomatoes with plastic.
I know. And they inject them with like halibut genes and stuff. It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts. And they're like,
yeah, Monsanto, no problem.
Right.
It's all good. Just
outdoor sun-grown flower.
Yeah, grown from its seed, popped, loved by these hippies.
Helping with PTSD.
Straight to you for...
Eat your plastic. Shut up. Shut the fuck up and eat your plastic.
But it's so nuts because, it starts with the seed. Like even procuring the seeds is like, because all of it is illegal under federal law. Every step of it is so crazy at that level. But then at the micro levels of this, like the seed part, popping the seeds or getting the clones and then getting into the grow room. It's like, well, that should be pretty easy because it's a weed, right? And it grows super easily, except you need the lighting system and the newts and the air filtration and the correct growing medium. Like, are you going to use cocoa coir or rock wool or whatever? And sure hope you have someone who's good at like watering on time.
And taking care of, what are those neem mites?
Like spider mites.
Spider mites.
Yeah, you can use neem oil to combat all of the pests, and then you need your beneficial insects. And are you using ladybugs? And like, there's so many. Like every grow we've gone down the rabbit hole with some grower who just like lives, sleeps, eats, and breathes those plants.
Yeah.
And there's so much to it. It's not simple. I killed the only weed plant I've ever tried to grow.
I killed mine too. And it was the one that was called Just Water It. And I watered it and it died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even make it past seed.
Mine was called Instant Pot and killed that shit.
Yep.
Fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pop a seed.
So you pop a seed or a clone.
And then you
grow it.
But to grow it, you need lighting, pots, fertilizer,
all the shit.
Certain watering, temperatures, filtration, space.
A safe space where you're not going to get robbed.
Uh-huh.
And then you get to the cultivation stage, the harvesting, trimming, drying, and curing of plant matter. Also, like so many ways that you could fuck it up. You could cut it down too soon. You could it's always a danger that, someone is going to screw up the curing or the trimming. You need people who are good at trimming, which is actually like, I think less and less common to have. Like there used to be the whole culture of the people who would just move up and down the harvests and, they used to call them trimigrants. What do they call them now? I think you learned a new word for it when you were in Humboldt.
Scissor drifters.
Scissor drifters. I love that.
Yeah, on our way to Humboldt, when we were driving to the farm, I was like, oh man, I could see back in the day people on the side of the road here looking for work and just holding out scissors. And they go, yeah, they're called scissor drifters. And they're looking to come trim and make some money before they move on to the next place.
Used to be a whole way of life.
Yeah.
And now the legal industry has like collapsed that because there's no money in it anymore. And then you move on to like processing where there's, extractions and packaging and all of that. I mean, we all know packaging requirements change all of the time. Like you get all of your cannabis. It's grown, dried, cured, you're ready to package it. You get it all into these beautiful packages that you paid for design and everything. And then the government is like, actually, we changed these regulations and now you need to repackage everything or like,
and throw away all the plastic that you just bought because you have to use plastic for these things.
Yep.
And a double locked bag with childproof. And also your logo of a dragon might be confusing for kids and they might not work out. So also we have new THC rules and regs that you need to put on the back of each package.
Yep.
So it used to just be THC percentages and the date that it was pulled and bagged. But now we also need cannabinoids. We need CBD. We also need what type of water filtration system is on the back.
The terp profiles, all the lab testing and analysis, and you have to pay for all of that.
Yes.
So, like how this
and
is so
there's a second fucking license I learned in Humboldt.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your license to grow, but then you also need a second license to transport the weed from your grow to the dispensaries or the labs. You're not allowed to drive your own weed off of your property.
Nope.
You either need to hire a middle person who has that license for distribution, or you have to get your own distro license, which also is its own set of things to jump through.
And fucking nightmares because there are people who get distro licenses and they're like burner distro licenses and they'll show up at your farm, they'll take your weed and then they will disappear into the fucking night and then you can't find them. So you
How
just lost
dare
your,
this thing just be a circle?
it just like, yeah. Oh, it's so easy. Here's the seed to sale process. So next up, we have sales. You're not allowed to sell directly to consumers. It's only B2B. So you have to go to the dispensaries and do business with the stores that are only the legal retail stores. You can never just sell. Can you imagine growing something and then never being able to just sell it to your friends, like a tomato farmer at a farmer's market?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking crazy. And then fulfillment, you've got like all these crazy like deliveries and drivers and transportation and storage and fucking metric, which is its own nightmare, which is the system that the computer system, the tracking system that's used for legal retail cannabis, which is so buggy. Like any dispensary owner always says how much they hate it and what a nightmare it is. And then you have
wait, and for that sales part,
Mhm.
unlike eggs, which all of a sudden there was like of too few eggs, so the price is skyrocketed to $10 a carton. There is such a surplus of cannabis everywhere because every step of the way is a bunch of hoops to jump through and hoops under those hoops to jump through that the price of a pound at wholesale is like $450. So imagine getting the lighting, getting the licenses, getting the new packaging, getting the new testing, getting the distro person to not disappear and instead pick it up for you, then get it onto shelves. And all of that is $450 plus a bunch of government tax.
Yeah, it costs you more to get your weed to market than it did you're never going to make money.
You're never going to make money. Well said. Way to tighten it up.
My brain just pretzeled and I was like, profit margins. Anyway, and the last step is retail. Obviously, this is where you and I get to go into the dispensary and buy it. And then as the consumer, we get to make choices. And hopefully you have some great buy one, get one free deals. And am I getting 33% off today because it's Tuesday? And also I have a medical card, so I'm not wanting to pay taxes, but you're a dispensary that doesn't do that and it doesn't honor it. So I'm getting fucked over by the tax system. And like, just at every level, legal cannabis is fucked. And the fuckery abounds no matter where you look in the country at every state level. Well, I mean, it's only state level, but in every state has its own issues. I think there are some states that are doing it better than others. I think Washington is kind of doing okay.
And Alaska.
And Alaska is kind of doing okay.
I just got a DM from Hawaii, actually.
Oh.
Do you mind if I find it real quick to read?
Please pull it up. And I
Okay.
was going to say, and New York is kind of fucked up. And that's such a bummer because we thought New York was going to be doing okay. And that will lead us into our news story too. While you look up your DM.
Here's what it is.
Okay. Here's what it is.
Thousands of marijuana plants from Hawaii's largest medical cannabis farm.
Arlen Kawano has the exclusive video and explains why some say the farm is being unfairly targeted.
So they went to Hawaii's largest medical farm,
Okay.
cut down every plant, burned all of it.
Who did?
The
DEA?
The DEA. And so now no medical patient in Hawaii can get their medicine.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry for all of our listeners in Hawaii. That's horrible.
Horrible.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So seed to sale.
No problem.
No problem.
Super easy, super cool.
I go out to my garden, I pull that zucchini, and next thing you know,
Weed.
I've got.
So chill, right?
Yeah. What shape should this circle be?
It shouldn't. It should just be one of those like fucking squiggly lines that's just like, you know, when you see like a serial killer's diary and they've just been like they press the pen really hard into the paper and it's just like a black mass. That's what it should look like.
That is what it should look like. The business of cannabis, a serial killer's diary.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Fucking truth.
Well, that brings us to our Grub Gazette news story this week, which is from Marijuana Moment. Always go to marijuanamoment.net for all the news. And the headline of this story is that a bud tender at New York City's first legal cannabis store has been jailed on marijuana charges. He landed in Rikers. I'm just going to read a little bit because I don't want to get it wrong. So an employee of New York City's first legal marijuana dispensary is being held at Rikers on a cannabis-related felony charge in a striking example of how pot, despite being legal in New York State, can still drag people into the criminal justice system. So 33-year-old Jumal George was pulled over in Brooklyn as he was driving to a friend's house. He was leaving his shift. He works as a lead bud tender at a place called Housing Works Cannabis Co., which is one of the very few legal pot stores in New York. And he was pulled over by cops. I wonder why. He's a black man. And they found he was driving without a license and that he had a warrant against him in Pennsylvania. And the charges in Pennsylvania were from cannabis-related charges that he was arrested for back in 2021. But here in New York, he's simply driving without a license. That's what's going on. So they pulled him over. And then they detained him. And then he was sentenced to 7 days in Rikers, which is notoriously a absolutely terrible place to go. It's a horrible
It's
prison.
one of the only prisons I've heard of,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
He was given 7 days for the license charge, and more than a week later, he's still being held there, and he's awaiting extradition to Pennsylvania, where he is facing a felony charge for possession with intent to distribute marijuana and 6 misdemeanor charges. There's no bail set in that case, and it could carry up to 15 years of prison time. So...
Wow. Wait, we have to parse this out a bit because
Yeah.
I feel like this headline is a little bit misleading.
Sure.
This headline makes me think that somebody who's a bud tender in New York got arrested for being a bud tender.
He was not arrested
and
for
that's
being a
not
bud
the
tender.
case.
That's
it
right.
just so happens that his employee, he is a bud tender.
Yes.
That is his job.
That's correct.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
No, he wasn't arrested for being a bud tender. You're so right. He was pulled over for driving without a license, or he was pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
He was found to be driving without a license, and then they found these charges that exist against him in Pennsylvania that date back 2 years. But he is legally employed as a bud tender at this. I think what the story is really pointing out is the hypocrisy of the fact that a person who could be working in the legal cannabis industry in New York could still go to jail for charges stemming from cannabis.
In Pennsylvania is not a legal state.
Pennsylvania does not have legal cannabis yet.
Unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
Right. And in most cases, like I remember I got pulled over once and didn't have my insurance, but I was like going 170 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, just send us your insurance card. And I was like, yeah, but I got a fine for not having it on me. But at the end of the day, this guy might have his driver's license home.
Yeah. Oh, he did have it home. His wife was like, or his fiance was like, yeah, he just forgot it that day. It's not like he doesn't have a
Fucking hell,
license. He
man.
just didn't have it on him.
Right.
So the deal with his charges in Pennsylvania are that he was arrested in August 2021 after a traffic stop for making a turn from the wrong lane. He and his fiance were on a trip with their child to an amusement park. And then cops said, they smelled cannabis in the car. So they searched the vehicle. They found some edibles that they had forgotten about. And he was charged with possession as well as driving under the influence of a Schedule I drug, which we all know is weed can stay in your system for days. So there's no evidence. Like if you're pulled over and you have THC in your system, it doesn't mean you're driving impaired.
Right.
It might mean that you smoked a joint 3 days ago or you had an edible yesterday. It doesn't mean you're high.
Right. And it also, the idea of having edibles in your car that you forgot about, it should not be a felony.
No. It's so fucking infuriating. So he was charged with those things, and then he made it to a hearing, and then the date of his second hearing was changed, and the notice of that hearing was sent to an address where he no longer lived. So like it's just it's a series of errors. It's it's insane that he is facing these charges, and we should definitely follow this story because if he does end up doing any jail time for being pulled over for driving, for not having his license on him, not even not having a license, it's infuriating, especially because he's a black man who is employed at this legal weed store.
And the only things that are his fault are having some edibles in the car and making a wrong turn.
Yeah.
But the idea of this warrant being out for him because it was sent to a wrong address, like that's not his fault.
Yeah.
How do you know about mail you didn't get?
Yeah, I don't exactly. How do you fucking know about mail you didn't get? It's crazy. So I don't know.
And he has a daughter. He's working a job that's legal.
All of it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Another example of legal
Seed to
weed.
jail.
Yeah. Wow. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Damn.
Fucking crazy. I hope he gets great representation and that the entire state of New York screams about it on his behalf if he gets extradited and charged.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
hopefully this is a judge that is like, okay, they're trying to throw the book at this guy. And all that's going to happen is maybe some like probation and a fine.
Yeah.
For things that are
not a fucking felony charge, which means you lose the right to vote and a ton of others. Like having a felony record
and
means
your child.
Yeah, you can't get access to like so many things with a felony charge. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And also as somebody who has forgotten that they had a one hitter in their bag when they threw their bag through the TSA on the way to New York and then unpacked my bag in New York and was like, oh my God, I forgot I had this one hitter in here. Like mistakes happen and you should not be sent to prison for them.
I just traveled to Newfoundland with a one hitter in my bag and went through customs and got to Newfoundland and pulled it out and was like, wow, holy fuck.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. I'd just forgotten about, I mean, it was just like in the, it didn't have weed in it or anything. It was clean. but even if it hadn't been, I mean, they could have seen it and pulled me. I'm sure I'm on lists. I know I'm on lists.
Yeah, of course you are.
So
Your name, Mary Jane Gibson. What list should we start with?
top 10 coolest people in the world.
You think the government has cool people lists as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably, because then they go into
those
your-
are enemies.
Yeah.
Cool people equals enemy.
Yeah. They're the ones that they hack into your cloud and pull your nudes in case they ever need to distract from the war in Israel and Palestine.
I don't have nudes in the cloud.
You don't have cloud nudes?
Hell no.
Nice. Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No
don't
way,
trust
man.
that.
No, my nudes are all on film in my closet.
Congratulations.
Slides. You need a
yeah.
projector to see them.
You walk into your bedroom, there's a guy like laying there, you're wearing like some fancy lingerie, and you wheel out a projector.
Slide projector. Just lower like one of those overhead. Oh, I just got to plug this in. Make sure the lamp,
Yeah.
the bulb is working.
It's got to warm up a bit. It's going to take about 6.
Pull down the, what are those things called? Screen.
The screen.
The projection screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you see my nudes. Like it's not Stranger Things, Wonder Years. You know those scenes where they would be sitting in the dark in the classroom. Like, yeah.
There's some really
That's my
sexy
era.
music playing, but cutting through it is the of it changing slides.
Oh man, I remember that sound so well. Well, flying to Newfoundland, I wanted to mention a couple of things about my trip home while we're on the topic. If you're looking at our YouTube, you can see an experience that I had
This is incredible.
that I wanted to talk about a little bit.
This is all
rum. So Newfoundland is
my God.
famous for being an island of rum drinkers, right? Because the trade used to be that the fishermen would come over from all over the place, from England and Ireland and Portugal and everything. And they would come to Newfoundland, they would catch cod, and then they would send the cod south to Jamaica, and they would get sugar and rum, and then they would ship that back to Portugal and England and everywhere. So it was like this, transatlantic trade that had to do with salt, fish, and rum for the most part. Those things were gold. And so Newfoundland would get some of the rum back in these barrels to sustain the fishermen who lived on the island through these icy fucking cold winters. And they famously had this sort of like the dregs, the shitty rum that they weren't shipping back for the, nobles and the rich people over in, Europe. The Newfoundlanders would get this stuff called screech,
okay.
which literally will put hair on your chest.
Oh yeah.
And it's super famous, like a ritual when you go to Newfoundland, you get screeched in, where you actually drink screech, a shot of rum, and then you have to kiss a cod and say a little bit about being an honorary Newfoundlander and stuff. So I was in the store, and they were doing a screech tasting, and I was asking the woman, like, what's the story with the new flavor of screech? And she was like, they just, they changed the recipe a little bit, but we actually drink. She was like, if you're a real Newfoundlander, you drink lamb's rum. And then she was like, go over and look at the lambs display on the wall. And so this is a video that I took of it. I mean, it's got to be like 30 feet of a wall display.
It's
of
an
rum.
entire, like this is what cereal usually looks like.
Yeah. It was amazing. And so I was just like struck by not only like how much rum Newfoundlanders drink, but also by the fact that like I had this chat with her. She told me this whole history of like rum in Newfoundland and how it's delivered to parts of the island by snowmobile and boat, and just like really charming. And then I was standing taking this video, and I was standing in the aisle, and this guy walked up next to me, and he was like, shopping for Christmas. And I turned to him, and we just fell into this conversation like you do when you're home,
Yeah.
like when you're in your hometown. I found out so much about him in like 3 minutes. He like where he grew up and where he worked and around the world and his DJ career. And then he was like, I'm DJing in Dildo tomorrow night. And I was like, I'm having such a Newfoundland moment, because Dildo is a town in Newfoundland. Made famous actually in America by Jimmy Kimmel, who sent, what's his, is it Guillermo?
Yes.
He sent Guillermo to Dildo to do like some field reporting of coming from Dildo, Newfoundland. So I don't know. I just like my heart was warmed. The cockles were warmed. And then I went up to the cashier and had another conversation where he was like telling me about his weird uncle and stuff. And I was just like, this is so nice. Like everyone is making me feel really connected and in my hometown. And it especially struck me because I have felt so disconnected of late, especially like duking it out with strangers on the internet about whether or not women are people or whatever it is that we're talking about in the
Sure.
comments on some sandwich video. It feels very like rough sometimes. And so I just wanted to say that going home made me feel very connected, even though I was there to, my mom wasn't well and it wasn't like the best trip. I wasn't there for fun, but I had that moment where I was like, this is nice.
That is really nice.
Newfoundlanders are good people.
So I know you've had screech.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And been screeched in and kissed a cod.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had lamb before?
Oh, yeah. Many, many times. That's
so
like,
is lamb as fiery 151-y moonshiny as screech?
No, lambs, that's why they drink it. Like if you go to a Newfoundland party and you walk into the kitchen, there'd be a handle of lambs on the counter with probably Coke, most likely, or Pepsi, depending where you are.
Love a rum and Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or you can have a dark and stormy with a little bit of ginger beer. And then at Christmas, you drink it with eggnog. Yeah, it's good.
That's really cool.
That's what's on the counter.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to visit Newfoundland. Say it for me one time.
Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm. I think I would like to visit there for like 3 days.
No, boy. You got to go for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To really let it sink in?
Yeah, you got to give it a good week.
Because then I got to also get over the people coming up and talking to me in the grocery store.
Well, they're not going to talk to you.
You don't think so?
No way, man.
I have a very welcoming presence.
I don't know.
People look at me. I'm drawing people in with my warmth. Everyone wants to chat.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Well, if you put that out, they'll come up to you. But if you're, not putting that out, they won't. They're very intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I had a couple of encounters and moments where like there was one moment where I won't get into the actual story, but I was talking to someone and I was sort of like approaching it with like a very LA vibe. And I just watched her clock it and just like shut off behind the eyes.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no, I need to deal with this like a Newfoundlander. And
Which means what?
Zero affect or bullshit or trying to code it or tell a story with it. Like, here are the fucking facts of what's going on and what information I need from you. Like, I think I was acting a little bit.
Yep. And they could smell it on you.
Yeah. Like I put on like a little bit of a kind of a smile and a voice where I was trying to sort of, and she was like dead in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah. Why am I trying to bullshit you? Here's what I actually need from you. And then she responded. It was just like, it was so cut and dried. And that's what I love about it. There's no fucking bullshit. Like they don't have any room for it. Like they have been living on this godforsaken island for like 500 fucking years and they've gotten fucked over by literally everything, including the Canadian government. They do not have time for it. And at the same time, they're so funny. They're like, it's that Irish humor. It's like, you laugh in the face of death, right? So like, it's great. I love it. I love Newfoundland. And for Creamed Corner, I had a special little Newfoundland treat to share with you.
Oh, okay, great.
Do we have time?
No. You know what? Save your little treats. And we're going to end.
Yeah, fuck this. Okay, listen. Forest Road chocolates. I was so excited to get these because I've been seeing them on my friend's Facebook. And I found out that the girl who makes, or woman who makes them, she was the daughter of one of my dad's colleagues at the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. And I remember her from when she was like 6. Stephanie Porter. I haven't seen her in a million years, but she's making these chocolates. Look at these chocolates. Can you see them with your blind eye?
Gorgeous.
So Forest Road chocolates are an artisanal chocolate from, I don't know if you can, I can't hold them up without them falling out, but we got them. So she's making them with local, thank you. She's making them with local ingredients. So partridge berry orange is one. Caramel corn. Oh, that's exciting. This is sort of like a Halloween-y kind of looking
Can I try one?
Yes, I would love you to try one. So your choices are partridge berry orange, caramel corn, strawberry, and river mint, popping hazelnut, pumpkin spice cheesecake, espresso, lime, lemongrass, basil, and chili, and s'mores.
Damn. Okay. I'm going to go based on prettiness.
Okay.
And I'll only take a half bite.
And I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
So shout out Forest Road Chocolates. And thank you to my friend Michelle for procuring these for me. And that one is partridge berry orange.
Partridge berry orange.
Good choice. Partridge berry is like have you ever had partridge berry?
No, but it's very unique.
It's got a pungent,
very unique
quality to it, right?
I like it. It is. I can describe it in a second, but partridge berry is very unique.
Partridge berry. Mm-hmm.
At first, it reminded me of a raspberry, just on color and taste, but it has a little bit more, I don't know, to it. It's not a raspberry.
That's right. It's got like that, I don't know, I feel like it's common if you've had other northern berries like cloudberries or salmon berries. It's like things grow north in the tundra, have this sort of pungent quality to them.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little
pungent
vinegar or something.
Yeah. Wow. Can we eat one more? Because I'm not a big fruit candy person.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to try?
You pick one based on looks and I'll tell you what it is.
There's an eyeball right here.
Let's eat the eyeball. That
Let's
is
eat the eyeball.
lime, lemongrass, basil, and chili.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
ForestRoadChocolates.com is her website. And I think she's just popping up at different spots around St. John's at like farmers markets and stuff.
Fuck.
Okay.
It's so good.
Oh, good.
I'm so glad you said do it, bitch.
I didn't say bitch.
You said, yes, you did. With your voice, you said,
Wow.
do it, bitch.
I should be wearing my shirt that says quit projecting.
$15. Go to her website. Because I'm not projecting. I heard the tone. What do you think of it?
You heard the tone.
The tone was do it, bitch.
Wow. I can hear your stomach
I'm
growling.
so hungry.
Oh my God.
I'm so hungry. I've been living on mushrooms and Pedialyte.
Well, luckily for you, I have another treat. That
Oh.
was amazing. Check out ForestRoadChocolates.com for more information. And lastly, for our creamed corner, I wanted to present to you, to make up for my horrible failure last week of that candy corn
That was so funny.
cob.
It was just warm sugar cookie dough with candy corn sliding around it.
Nailed it. It really was awful. And it didn't even taste good. I mean, you were nice enough to try it, but it was bad.
What are these babies?
I made candy corn blondies.
No.
Mhm.
Oh, look at these. Oh, look at these. Wow.
I still think they're not good.
Really?
I just think candy corn is a really hard thing to work with.
Okay. Well, have you tried one yet?
I have.
Well, I don't like that you're not trying one now.
I don't really want to eat anymore. Okay. This is so sweet. Well,
Okay.
it's like maybe if I were a teenager, like maybe if I were in 7th grade, I would enjoy this, but my adult palate, especially after these beautiful artisanal chocolates, just doesn't want it. It's too much sugar.
So here's what I'll say about that.
Ugh.
I know I just said I'm not a big fruit dessert person.
Mm-hmm.
This needs like a raspberry going through it. This needs something
Ugh.
to cut the double sweetness of the blondie, the white chocolate chips, and the candy corn.
Yeah.
Like I really like it. And I also like a crispy base on a
Mhm.
brownie. Like I like a hard shell base on a brownie. And I like how soft the middle is and crunchy the top is. Like texturally, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just sugar.
Yeah.
Like it needs, candy corn needs anything else besides sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It really does. I think if you think of this as fudge, which is pure, I've never enjoyed fudge.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's just, ugh, I don't know why people like fudge. If you think of this as fudge, I guess it's somewhat successful. Anyway, I tried my best. I still have like a pound of candy corn. I need to do something with it. I spent like $14 on it. I can't just throw it away. So you might get some more candy corn next week.
You know what would be good?
Candy corn spaghetti or something.
Don't you think it would be really good chunked up in some kind of like ice cream situation with like a ribbon, a couple ribbons going through it? Like a, no?
I just think
I'll
I'm
just stop
anti.
there.
I think I'm anti candy corn. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, see, everybody is. And the more you're using it, the more anti you're becoming. I
Yes.
love candy corn. I love the texture. I love the sweetness. But when you're trying to incorporate it in other things, yeah, it's not a helpful friend.
So since I've done two tries and 2 fails, or 1 fail and 1 maybe like a D, can I give you the pound of candy corn and have you do something with it, please?
Yes, but
I mean, it's giving you a job. I know. It's
no,
not.
I don't mind.
Mhm.
I'll knock it out of the park. But do you want that for next week episode? Because we have a different type of app possibly
Oh, that's
next
right.
week.
That's right. That's right. Any time. Doesn't even need to be for an app. I feel
Okay.
like I would just love to give to you this pound of candy corn.
Can it maybe be closer to Thanksgiving, which is also a corn holiday?
You know what? I have some crazy sodas that we're going to taste for Thanksgiving that are weird Thanksgiving flavors.
Okay. Do they have
So-
moths in them or anything? Is there-
I don't think there's any moths.
Okay.
I will have to triple check. Maybe producer Mark can help me look to see if there's any moths in our sodas. But we should do like a Thanksgiving
Yes.
app where we do some tasting of some things and we can do some candy corn. I mean, I know you, Mike. You're good with palettes and flavors.
I will make something dazzling with that candy corn. Also, the more I eat that as a person addicted to sugar, the more I would polish those off until I feel sick.
Okay,
Like
great.
I think they're delicious in their like obtuse sugariness.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
And that kind of crunchy bottom, that charred caramelly bottom.
Happy with the texture.
Real nice.
Hate the taste.
Hate the taste.
Yeah,
Okay.
Feel a little sick.
I will bring candy corn back to its rightful place as a respectable treat.
Thank you.
You
I
got
look
it.
forward to it.
Okay. Thank you for cooking, though. Honestly, for these episodes where you've been bringing in creamy treats for us, I really appreciate it.
I mean,
It's
I'll make
nice.
something good at some point. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Cool. Buzz of the week?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
That's where we're
Shit.
at.
All right. My bud of the week this week is Jesus Trejo, friend of the show. He even performed on our last live Weed and Grub
That's
at the
right.
Moxie.
He
We have
was so
another one
good.
coming in December, I believe. Jesus Trejo, great comic, good pal. He just came out with his new special. It's called Practicing. It's free on YouTube. He's also, the day of this record, Monday, he's on Jimmy Kimmel tonight performing. I love his new special so much. I watched it this weekend. It's just hilarious. He has great jokes about air fryers and cupcakes and muffins, and it's just great, clean, rapid fire, hilarious comedy. And I cannot recommend him as a person or as a comedian enough. So check out his Instagram at Jesus Trejo and check out his new special Practicing on YouTube.
I can't wait to watch it. He's so funny.
It's so good. He has a bit about going to the doctor. I'll just leave it at that. But I love any like 10-minute bit where the payoff is like, oh my God. Like it is a masterclass in like how a story can be structured for maximum impact. It's so good.
I'm so excited to watch it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My bud of the week this week is our friends over at Bad Manners. They've got their new cookbook out. It is their 5th. It's called Hungry as Hell, and it is coming out tomorrow on Halloween. So when this drops on November 1st, you can just trot on over to their website and order yourself a copy. It's looking so good. I have had a bunch of the recipes in here because Michelle has been cooking up all of her amazing recipes and then inviting friends over to taste them. And I'm lucky enough to be on that list. So
That's
can I
awesome.
just say that my waistline does not thank her, but my taste buds do.
What have you tried from the book?
There was honestly this fucking crazy wedge salad with this beautiful sort of, I don't even know what the dressing is. It's got like a dill and it's sort of like a ranch, but you know, everything she makes is plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
Her salads were so on point. I had a pumpkin roll-up lasagna that was amazing.
Whoa.
There's a midnight chocolate cake that was delicious. Yeah, those are the 3 that I can think of right now. But queso. There's this amazing queso, plant-based queso that I would just straight up guzzle from the like jug.
I would love to try it. Oh, I saw the TikTok they made of that plant-based queso.
Mhm.
Even the color was like what's it called? Inviting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely slather myself in that and then just, you know, put on some of my slide projector porn for people.
Oh, I love that.
This is how I
Instead of
live.
like, you know, when people would like naked women would lay down with sushi on them, it's you just covered in queso.
With a slide projector. Who wants to date me? Come on. It's so hot. Anyway, go follow Bad Manners. Fucking delicious and amazing and wonderful and funny. Their books are funny.
Yeah.
Michelle's an amazing writer and yeah, it's great. The photos are gorgeous. So check it out.
Amazing buds of the week this week.
Yeah.
Great episode. I know that this will come out after Halloween, but if you want to keep sending us your costumes, please keep sending them our way. And you can always email us at wg@weedandgrub.com. Email or Instagram is at Weed and Grub. Our TikTok is at Mike and Mary Jane, where we have 2 strikes against us, really trying to get a third and get just like, you know, canceled from social media. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh,
Go to Centair and use code Weed and Grub for 25% off.
just grab.
Just Grub. Go to Centair either way and use that code that Mary Jane was right about.
Grub. And if you see any Boberts in the wild, send us a pic.
Yeah.
Snap some pics.
Snap some pics.
Or if you see the real one, just also snap a pic. Just make her feel crazy.
Yeah, please. Jesus Christ.
This was fun, Mike. I'll see you next week, right?
Yeah. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.